Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Liv's Thoughts. Today we are going to be talking about something I actually wrote notes for. Chill out, Olivia. I know, just stepping up my game here. But we're going to be talking about the fact that not everyone's meant to stay in your life forever. This is one thing I've gotten suggested to talk about. Actually, a lot of times, like I've gotten a few DMs about this, a few comments, and a few people in my Google form, shouting out my Google form in the description below. If you have any video topics you want me to talk about, drop them there. So this was a heavily requested one and something that I feel like I have a lot of experience on, which sucks to say, but I feel like I have had very temporary people in my life, and this idea that not everyone is meant to stay in your life forever can either be very damaging or very rewarding and a cool way to see life. And I want to explain my point of view with this because I think I see it very differently from a lot of people. First and foremost, I would like to say that when people are no longer in your lives physically does not mean that you have to completely shut them out and forget about them. Because they're out of sight does not mean that things need to be out of mind. If you have dealt with a breakup, if you have dealt with the loss of a loved one, just because they're not there and that is someone that you used to love, doesn't mean that they can't exist in your day-to-day life. There are so many little things that remind us of people, smells, tastes, objects, movies, whatever it may be that reminds you of a person that you love. Allow that to be a happy memory for you. Allow that to be a little bit of peace for you along your life journey. Like, you've lived a long time. Look back on it. Be appreciative of the time that you had with these people. And maybe if it wasn't so great, maybe there's a lesson we can learn from it. Like, there's always something you can get out of it that has more of an optimistic mindset and approach to it. With our timelines though, you have to understand that there's some people in our lives that are meant to come and go. You're supposed to teach them a lesson, they're supposed to teach you a lesson, or they're supposed to help you learn this life lesson, or you're kind of in their lives for the same reason. But I think we need to stop looking at people as permanent, because that's never the truth. If you are not scared to come to terms with the fact that most people you love aren't going to be around forever, yeah, like that, it's like scary, obviously, but there's so much room for you to love, and there's so many people for you to love in this world. So don't get attached to the idea of there's one person you're gonna love, there's one person you're gonna, or one thing you're gonna have complete passion for. Like, what, you're on this earth for however many years you're on here. There is going to be multiple people you love, whether that is platonic or relationship. There's going to be multiple things you love. There's going to be multiple hobbies and jobs you love. There's also going to be a lot of things you hate. But that's the point of life. It comes and goes. Like, you're not going to get it all the time. So enjoy it when you have it, but also understand that when you don't, it will come again. Like, it's not over just because it's over one time. We experience things multiple times over again. Another thing, more on the spiritual side, the red string theory, I think, is something that's very cool to think about in an interesting way to make the world seem smaller. Is the red string theory, where you like meet someone one time somewhere and then you come back to them later in life, and whether that's romantic or platonic, or they're just kind of like in your life to be in your life. I think there's a lot of people you meet that your kind of soul attaches to in a way that makes you draw back to them in future circumstances. It's very cool. It's like that could be a whole video on its own, so maybe I'll save that for a different time. But this idea that when you meet people, you have an open heart and a kind heart and just an open like mindset to meeting new people, because you don't know when these people are going to come back into your life. First impressions are important. Being kind is important. And when you move into relationships, again, everything I'm saying here today, physical or platonic, either one. But when you move into relationships, if you're moving into it with pure intentions and not, I don't want to say ignorance, because I feel like a lot of our mistakes are made from pure ignorance, but moving into it with understanding that that person also has feelings, I want to be the best version of myself I can be for this person, even if I'm meeting them one time. Just being nice, being thoughtful, being kind. If someone's disrespecting you, that doesn't mean to say you need to be kind and be the bigger person all the time, but like, allow yourself to have a good reputation for the next time you meet someone, because you never know when you're going to meet someone again, or like have someone come back into your life. And you don't want that impression to be like, you were kind of weird the first time I met you. You were kind of mean. Like, that wouldn't be cool. Next up, lessons. So my therapist, I've talked about this I think before on here. If not, I've talked about it on my TikTok before. But my old therapist told me that I'm a very people-pleasing person. I get really scared to hurt other people's feelings. And she said, why are you robbing someone of their own life lesson and own lesson to learn just because you're too scared to learn your own life lesson? And this is, again, something that stuck with me for a really, really, really long time, because you are not meant to fix anyone. You're not meant to teach someone the way of living. You're not meant to teach someone empathy. You're not meant to teach someone how to love. But you are there to help them learn lessons. Like, you are in people's lives for reasons. And I think when we understand that, again, you're gaining from someone else's experience, they're gaining from your experience. It's this kind of relationship. Most relationships should be back and forth and gain and add to. Well, when it comes to kind of like helping someone learn a lesson, if someone is doing bad things to you, if someone is treating you poorly, whatever it may be, don't try to fix them. Walk away. Teach them a lesson by letting them learn on their own, because you might not be the one. Like, I hate to be like that, but sometimes when you're trying to teach someone a lesson, you might not be the one that they're gonna hear it from and be reciprocant of. Like, they're not gonna necessarily learn from you walking away. So you can't be mad when someone else isn't learning their lesson. But it's not your job to teach someone the way to live their life. It's not your job to teach someone the way to exist here. Like, it's their job to learn from karma and learn from their just genuine mistakes. I had generosity and kindness next, but I think we kind of already touched on that. Moving into most relationships or just interactions with pure intention instead of what can I get out of this person, what can this person get out of me, what are they gonna think of me? Like, instead of being insecure about the person you are, maybe just understand that this person has no prior knowledge of you. They don't know who you are as a person. They might have heard things about you, but they've never met you. It's their job to make a judgment of you. And their judgment is based on the way you act and the way you carry yourself and the way you hold yourself to these certain actions. So I think just moving through life with pure intention and kindness is always the best way to go. Now, going back to the little things about how we can carry people through our lives even when they're not here anymore, something that I feel like I've needed to learn, or have been learning. People can give you little things you like. People can give you gifts. People can give you, like when you're in a relationship, when you're in a friendship, you get things from these people. That doesn't mean you need to throw it away when it's over. That doesn't mean you need to like burn it as a sign of getting back at someone or throwing stuff away because you don't want them around anymore, whatever it may be. Like, it's okay to hold on to things. It's okay to, not saying dwell on the past and live in the past in this past moment, but it's okay to want to still have a glimpse of that love in your everyday to-day life. I think that is completely normal. I have things from my friends in high school who I don't talk to anymore, but it's nice to be reminded of the good times I had with them, because surprise, as time moves on, things heal, pain heals. So you're not gonna feel the negative emotion necessarily attached to that item with that person. You'll more see like the love you did have with that person. And again, this is not to say dwell on the past and dwell on holding someone's things or someone's gifts, but you don't have to throw it away just because you feel like that's what's meant to do. Like, I don't think I'll ever throw anything away from people that have given me stuff because they thought that I would really like it. Like, I don't know, if it's something that I absolutely would never wear, never use, whatever, that's a different story. But if someone made me a gift, if someone got me something that was super sentimental to them, or whatever it may be, I'm not gonna throw that away. Like, I'm gonna put it on a knickknack shelf. That's awesome. Like, I still get to see you and have you in my life, even though you're not in my physical existence anymore. You're still in my brain, and our memories aren't meant to be forgotten. They're just meant to be cherished and looked at differently, and move differently through your mistakes, and move differently through not repeating the same story twice. We don't want to have the same love story. We don't want to have the same friendship story of like constant crash outs and constant disappointment and failure to that. But I don't know, I just think it's cool to have things that remind you of your past without necessarily being triggering, but changing your way of seeing the things from the past as this terrible person got me at blah 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 blah, as to, oh no, I love this person, this is a moment we shared together, yeah, that's why it's there, move on, that's all it needs to be. And then moving through life with not necessarily like hating people. I think hating people can do more damage to yourself than it can do to the other, like, than what you're trying to do to the other person. I think when you hate people and when you don't forgive and you hold grudges against people even when they have done you wrong, it only causes you more anxiety and stress, because when you think about someone and you have such a negative reaction to them, when it's not like a trauma response, but like a negative reaction to the way someone treated you, you have to understand, like, this person maybe is struggling with certain things, blah 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 blah, we know the whole sob story, yada yada, but it is still important as a human being to have empathy and give empathy. You don't owe someone that hurt you anything, but you do owe yourself the forgiveness to not hold a grudge and not hold on to hate towards people, because people have, again, just made a video about this, people have the ability to change, whether that's with you in their life or not. But if you can offer forgiveness and understanding for yourself and like the ways that someone else hurt you and you were not necessarily wrong, and it offers a level of self-compassion, I feel like, when you forgive the people that have hurt you in the past, because you understand it wasn't your fault. And when we are so there's an aspect of, I want to get revenge on you because you hurt me, because how could I ever be so messed up for you to hurt me, or like, what did I do for you to hurt me? And you have to understand it's not because of you. Like, you owe yourself the forgiveness to not hate someone and not hold a grudge towards someone. There's bad people in this world, 100%, but karma will do what they want to do with that person. They will get it, I promise you. Bad people get the things they deserve, whether that is a life without love, whether that is a death that is completely alone, like whether that is they're not being able to ever find a job. Like, bad people, even though it may seem like they have it better, they have it good, why do good things happen to bad people, all this stuff, it will come. Give it time. They're gonna be reincarnated as a bug next life. Like, let yourself forgive and just let it go. But yeah, I hope that made sense. That was pretty much all I had written down. Final thoughts. People, again, aren't meant to stay forever. And the sooner you can learn to teach your brain that it's not your fault when people leave, and it's not your fault that there is an instability with your friendships and connections with people, it's because our world is like that. We're pitted against each other. Like, this whole social media has made friendships so competitive, and social media has made relationships so bare minimum that people don't even need to try anymore. So we blame ourselves a lot of the time for connections not working, when you have a genuine heart and you have an open heart and willingness to be kind. You will meet people, like, you will meet people, but not everyone is the same as you. Not everyone is going to have the same open and pure heart as you, and kind intentions and kind, like, way of living. But you have to, again, you have to understand that not Not everyone's gonna like you. That's okay. Not everyone's meant to be here forever. That's okay. As long as you forgive and understand that you should know when you're in the wrong, and if you know for a fact you weren't in the wrong, appreciate the love you had, appreciate the times you shared, but keep it as that. Keep it as an appreciation. Keep it as a memory. You don't have to throw it away. You don't have to get rid of it and pretend like the person's dead. I hate that. Like, you really do not have to do that. But you do need to allow yourself to forgive and leave it there. Think of your life as a timeline, dude. Like, it's a timeline. You get to go back and pick out these little parts. So yeah, that's all I had to share. Hope you guys have a wonderful night, and I will talk to you later. As always, there's the form below if you want to drop any video ideas. If you stayed all the way to here, leave a frog. Okay, love you, bye.